What's up, boys? Quick one here in the car, no diddy. But just last week, really last 10 days rather, I onboarded, or landed, onboarded, started working for, whatever you want to call it, my first client outside of the residential contracting space. My first client outside of the residential contracting space. From this point on, I've only worked with residential contractors in Australia and New Zealand, small to medium-sized business owners, whether they have 0 employees, they're just a one-man band, or 10, 15 employees. That's kind of the sweet spot in between those two. A lot of money to be made for not only myself, but obviously for my clients as well. Everyone's happy, life is good, hello. But recently, like I said, 10 days ago, I just got a chance to start working from word of mouth, by the way. From just me being good at business on Meta, knowing how to run Meta Business Suite, Ads Manager, all that good stuff. Someone heard that I was good at that and got in touch with me on behalf of a drink company here in New Zealand. Very honored to be working with this person right now. They're a very big account. Turns out that essentially if you work with them, you're doing something right. And I was thankful enough to have a good word put in. Met with him once and he was like, let's get these ads humming. Let's go. I want you to work for me. I was like, let's go. Bear in mind, I've never done work for this type of product or service. It's not a service, but product. I've only done work for services, residential contracting. And the advertising I was doing on Meta, and still are doing, by the way, for my other clients, is lead generation. That's my area of expertise, lead generation, and then a really simple retargeting campaign to more lead generation, to essentially, lead generation, the same lead source on, a native lead source on Facebook. Okay, cool. I don't deal with pixels. I don't deal with, of course we track the cost per lead, of course, but, cost per click, all the intricacies of post engagements, post comments, post likes, page likes, click-through rate. I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of all of the kind of, purchases, ROAS, cost per click, things like that, add to cart, cost per add to cart, cost per initiate checkout, righty, all that stuff. I don't really deal with that stuff. I don't deal with that stuff, excuse me. I just run really basic offers for my clients to their local market by radius, and that's it. No detailed targeting. I let the ad copy and the creative do the targeting. That's that. Here, this client, this account I've just landed, much different. And what I'm explaining this to you for is to say that just with a little bit of research, you can land any account out there. It's just by sheer luck. Honestly, it's coincidences by nothing but Jesus himself that 2 weeks ago, I bought a marketing course for like $25. I think it's 13 hours worth of content, and it's taken me a long time to go through it. Of course, you don't just breeze through it once. You watch a video, you read a document, and you break it down one by one. It takes a whole lot longer than 13 hours. Anyway, I've been going through that the last couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden this happens. I land this new client in business to consumer sales, right? Real life product. We have to track ROAS, we have to track purchases, we have to track, it's not just a lead generation objective campaign. It's traffic, awareness, engagement, sales. There's intense retargeting, custom audiences, lookalike audiences, all that stuff. I don't know much about that. But just 2 weeks ago, I bought this course and I've been learning about it. And then this comes up. I go in for a meeting and I sound like an expert. Honestly, I sounded like an expert talking in this meeting. And I only have a small amount of knowledge in it. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of knowledge in it. But I say that to say that anyone can do anything. This doesn't mean to be cheesy or corny or anything like this. But if I can go from essentially, I'm not going to say I had no knowledge on that type of industry because my job lives on Meta, right? Meta Business Suite, Meta Ads Manager. That's where I am 24/7. But I'm never the person that's going super in depth about, like I said, retargeting, custom audiences, lookalike audiences. How did this ROAS happen? How many purchases here? Cost per click, a million different campaigns, a million different ad sets, a million different ads. That hasn't been me. But just doing a bit of research about it, okay, comparing, kind of what market share the company is at right now, where are the competitors, what's working well, what's not working so well. I got access to their ad account and Meta Business Suite, and I could look at the last 18 months of data in terms of their ads. Let me just tell you, they've spent a lot of money on ads. My clients spend a lot of money on ads too, and they get great returns, obviously. It's a whole lot different with services because you spend a little bit, you get 30, 40 leads in a month, you spend 500, 600 bucks, up to 1,000 if you want. And each customer value is 20,000, 30,000, 45,000, 50,000, 60,000 because they're such big jobs. That's the fortune that residential contractors have in what they do. Everything's quite a big quote. It's not small quotes, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, 300 bucks. It's always thousands and thousands and usually tens of thousands. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah, they spend a lot of money on ads, but not a whole lot of money, right? Like I said, $500 to $1,000 a month. That's anywhere from 6,000 to 12,000. Sometimes it's more per year. Cool. In the last 18 months, this client I'm now working with has spent over 6 figures in ads. And I can see all the breakdowns. I can see the purchases, the ROAS, the cost per click, righty. I can see all of that, okay? And I was asked to do essentially a breakdown of what's going good and what's not going so good. And even they didn't know what was going good and not going so good. You know, they're a small team, but they've spent over 6 figures in ads. I come in, I do 6-7 hours of research about their, not research, but analytics managing on their ads manager. And I can tell them what's going good, what's going not so good. And just that little bit of information, like this is one of the first times I've met them, that's going to change their business drastically in terms of the type of content they put out, in terms of what product they're going to be promoting more, in terms of the new campaign approaching this product, advertising this product. It makes a big difference. And the fact they didn't know that before I came in is crazy, right? I'm not having a go at them, but this is just me sharing to you that you can do the exact same thing. But you've got to have authority in the industry. You've got to be perceived as an expert in the industry, and you've got to actually want to help the client. Right? If you're just there for $1, they're going to know, right? They're going to know. Fortunately, with what I'm doing, I'm incentivized a lot to help. That's kind of the basics of what I've done. The basics of what I've been doing. So anyway, key takeaway from this video is just put yourself out there, do a bit of outreach, okay? Doesn't matter what product or service you want to help with or sell, do a bit of outreach, okay? Get your name in the marketplace, offer to work for free, okay? Get your first few clients under your belt in return for testimonials, in return for 5-star reviews. Believe me, good things will happen. Word will spread around the town or the market or the industry, and you'll eventually get some very big clients. Boom, then you outsource. Not saying your job's complete as an entrepreneur, but you'll be in a very good place with, of course, a lot of hardship and a lot of hard work, but that's where every entrepreneur wants to be. A little bit stressed, a little bit contemplating your life, but hopefully reaping in massive rewards, providing a great service or product to the market, and in return, profiting massively as an entrepreneur. So you can provide for yourself, your friends, your family, all that good stuff. Anyway, I want you to watch this video here, 10 questions you should ask yourself every year on your birthday as an entrepreneur. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn the post notifications on so you don't miss any videos. Follow my Instagram at HarperMazy, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out. Boom.